if you're anywhere near your 30s, approaching your 30s, or even 40s, you might want to listen to this because I'm going to be clarifying and keeping it straight raw, okay, and simple on how you can save 10 grand or more and have that as a safety net where it's going to free so much of your time, man. A lot of us, you're seeing and looking around, you're like, whoa, is this really life? I mean, you're beginning to realize if I genuinely don't have any money, I can't do anything. You can't date, you can't go out, you can't provide for a significant other. Kids, you're going to need money. Everything needs money. So guess what? If you don't get good with finances, I'm sorry, but you've lost. You have lost. So if you're approaching your 30s or you're in your 30s, you might want to take wisdom from the people who are ahead. And what I've done was I extracted a ton of wisdom from 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds and seen what are their regrets? Like, what do they regret? What are they not happy with? What would I hate if I was in their situation? Why am I going to risk making a mistake when these lot have already made the mistake and I can see what's wrong? Then I can apply it in my life and avoid those mistakes. That's the whole aim of the game. So that's exactly what we're going through. First thing I done was I just got any job, even if it's a job that I completely hated. But from that job, everything that I was earning, I started tracking down to a T. Down to a T. I tracked every single pound or every single dollar if you're in America. Okay, so for the people in America, this is the Benjamins that you guys are talking about. Okay, don't forget this is prop money. All right, and if you're in GBP in the UK, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Get any job. I don't care if it's working as a cleaner in Tesco's, whatever it is. Get a simple basic job and start tracking every single penny. This will start to ingrain a skill that you most likely haven't had throughout your whole entire childhood, adulthood, or even teenage years. All right. Don't forget, finance is a muscle. The same way you go to the gym, you hit the gym to work out your biceps or, I don't know, your core, your abs. This is the same exact thing you need to do with your finances. You need to be able to work it out. Eventually, it becomes a habit and the habit just goes on because you just do it without thinking of it. All right. So track every single thing. All right. The next thing that you need to do, all right, is cut out every single thing that you've identified that this is a want and not a need. If you don't distinguish the needs and the wants, you're going to remain broke. It's called paycheck to paycheck. Those people who literally live paycheck to paycheck, like I might be looking at one of them. I might be looking into the eyes of a paycheck to paycheck junkie. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in that boat. I want to be eventually in the boat of, if I want something, I get it. I don't have to think twice. Oh, can I pay my bills today? Or is this going to happen? You're overthinking. That's why, in fact, that's why people are dying of stress. Like, you're overly stressed. Most of the heart attacks is happening on a Monday morning before 9 a.m. Why? Because most people have to go into their jobs. And most people, unfortunately, hate their job. Okay? So, I'm going to go into the next one, which is super, super key. You're not going to like it when I say it, but it's true. Get an extra job. Yeah, this is where it starts to separate the big boys from the children, right? If you're lazy, you're going to, what am I going to, yeah, well, why can't I enjoy my life? What if I die tomorrow? Yeah, but what if you don't? Yeah, what if you don't? What if you wake up at 60 years old, you're like, oh my days, where did my life go? And in fact, most of the research that I've done being on YouTube, and I've got multiple YouTube channels, but most of the research I've done, most people actually end up regretting, why didn't they work harder in their earlier years when they had the energy, they had the strength? Why? And now it's too late. I mean, what's a 70-year-old gonna do energy-wise? Like, there isn't much you can do. Do you understand? So get an extra job. Start driving Uber if you can. Okay? If you're in the UK, maybe get MK Connect or something. Just Addison Lee, wherever you are, get a driving job, which is most likely the easiest thing you can supplement on top of your normal 9 to 5, because you're in control with driving jobs, right? When it's a normal job, obviously you're not in control. So I got an extra job. I'm going to give you guys, by the way, if you want the receipts of what I'm talking about, I can comment in the comment section down below and I'll show you guys the receipt. I'm on about finances, show you guys like how much I saved. I'm very transparent on this channel, so I don't mind doing that. If you do want that, comment in the comment section down below and I should be able to do that. The next major thing that you need, my friend, is you need to build yourself an emergency fund. Super important. All you're becoming is the bank. You need to be able to borrow against yourself, essentially, because where people stumble up is crisis hits. And by the way, the good thing about crisis, I'm saying good, but the bad thing about crisis essentially is when it does hit, it doesn't warn you. So when crisis hits, that's when people tend to go and borrow money from the bank. It would help if you had an emergency fund, aka becoming your own bank. You don't need to borrow elsewhere. You could borrow against yourself. And by me saying against yourself is, so let's say you've saved 10 grand. The title of pretty much of this video, you managed to save 10 grand, emergency happens, you can just take that money, use it, and then top it up, build it back up. Okay, so if you earn 2 grand a month in your job, you took, I don't know, let's just keep it simple, $100, you top it up the next month with $100, you're back to 10K. So you never drop below 10K. That way you're solidifying yourself as never being broke, basically. And by the way, which we're going to talk about later on, the emergency fund is for emergency. So 6 months to a year's spending. I'd like to tell people, usually the students that I have from the link in the description, is I tell them to start off with 5. If you can save 5K, you're Gucci, you're good. If you can save beyond that, even better. If you could build up to 10, fantabulous. Not fantastic, fantabulous. Meaning you've singled yourself out. With pretty much 10K, you can cover anything really that could happen. Even if it's an emergency, you know, car breaks down, God forbid, maybe surgery, whatever it is, you could pretty much cover that. And then anything above that, you're working towards building a better and brighter future for yourself. Makes sense? So we're going to use now the next one, which for me was super crucial on my journey, which I used cash or budgeting apps to control my spending. So we've got here in the UK a bank called Monzo, which tracks all of this for you. All right. It makes it super easy. In fact, this is not a promotion video or anything like that, but I would recommend you downloading Monzo. It makes it super easy. Sterling is another one that I have as well. And just to top on and to add on to that, you want to have ideally 5 bank accounts, because it's going to allow you to be able to differentiate and separate your money. So it's not in your face, out of sight, out of mind. Remember that. So the whole point is you don't want to consistently see high numbers, because that's how it tempts you to spending it. That's what makes you think, oh, I'm not broke. You know, I've got some money. Yeah, I can just use it for here. But when it's out of sight, you don't really think about it like that. You consistently operate in this broke mindset. Okay. So the other thing I've done, okay, we're near the end. So make sure you pay attention, because near the end, I'm going to draw some major gems. I set clear goals on why and how I was going to save this 10K. And in fact, I was able to save it way quicker because I saved less, but I used investing to triple it. So this is where, and as I said, I've got the proof. If you guys want it, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll make a separate video showing you guys the proof and documenting absolutely everything, how I was able to do it. It takes time, but this way was the quickest way. I've never printed this much. I've been printing. Okay, and this is from someone who entered their 30s pretty much broke. I pretty much lost everything. I lost everything. Relationship, finances, everything just came tumbling down. But being eager and bold about life and being optimistic, I've been able to build myself financially to well, it's still a building process. Can you imagine? Oh my days, there's a lot that you guys don't know. All right, like I lost 20 grand. I lost 20 grand. Plus, no, it was maybe even 30 actually, and an investment that went wrong, that went bad. Once again, story time. If you guys want it, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll make a separate video. But yeah, I'm just keeping it super transparent with you guys, because yeah, so I was able to build myself very, very high, but everything came tumbling down once pretty much I entered my 30s. We lost a ton, but now we're in a position where we're very good. We're in a position where, you know, we're working and building. So if you guys want the receipts, I'm here to provide it for you guys. All right, but we'll carry on. So set clear intentions and save on saving 10 grand. I made my investments automatic, meaning once I got paid, the money automatically deducted from my account. It's called, I believe, a standing order, something along those lines. But most people's banks can do this. So meaning as soon as you get paid, you set a specific amount that goes out of your account and pings over to another account that you own. So that's what I said. Ideally, you want 5 bank accounts because it allows you to separate it out. This one's for spending. This one's maybe for groceries. This one's for saving. This one's for my future. And this one's maybe for a house. Do you understand? It keeps it super organized and super simple. If you're not clear and intentional about your finances, you plan to fail, essentially. Okay? So I've done that, made savings super automatic. Then this is the one that people are going to most likely hate completely. I lived below my means. How many times or how much I can't say it loud enough. Live below your means. We're working to building the future. It will pay off in the future. You're not going to regret this. In fact, this is the best decision, the best video, and the most clear and intentional video you're watching this year, because I'm keeping it raw and 100%. 100% with you. I've got no reason to cap. You want to live below your means. Stop using credit cards completely. Oh, well, how about my credit score? Forget about it for now. Later on, when you build a financial muscle, remember, it's a financial muscle. You become strong. You're not easily, wavered. Like you're not easily swayed. Impulsive buying doesn't no longer exist in you. You can look at something, you're like, oh, that's nice. Maybe one day. And you keep walking. That is called building financial muscle, financial strength. But a lot of you guys are too weak. You walk, you see something, oh, that's nice. Should I? I just got paid as well. Oh, okay, cool. I'll get it, then I'll make up I deserve it. I've been working super hard. What working hard have you been doing? You live paycheck to paycheck. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I became super clear. Stop using credit cards. Why? Because I was building my own bank, saving money that I can borrow against myself, like I told you earlier in this video. Okay? So I stopped completely using credit cards. I'm looking at the notes here so I can make sure I can get everything right across, because as I told you guys, I'm keeping it honest with you guys in this video. 100% one take is what we're doing. Okay? The last one I'm going to tell you, I stayed consistent no matter how slow it felt or how slow it got. This is where most people fail. If you begin something and you don't continuously do it, you're going to fail. I became a workhorse. I stayed consistent at it. That's how I was able to enter my 30s, losing everything across the board. I lost my health. The relationship that I was in allowed me to let myself go because the individual let themselves go. So then directly it's all intertwined. I'm telling you. And you, as men, you have to be the boundary setter. So, okay, the other person that you're with could let themselves go, but you can't let yourself go. You need to remain in tip-top shape. These are things you learn. Financially, you understand? So I'm not one to badmouth somebody else because they've got their flaws, including me. I've got my flaws. In fact, I blame myself. That's why I've been able to self-improve. That's why I'm here. Jacked, the most jacked I've ever been in my life, the best tip-top shape, and bouncing back and building. Why? Because I accepted. I said, you know what, as a guy, it's all my fault. Because if I created a successful relationship, okay, with the opposite, with your partner with the ex-partner, whoever that you're with, if I created a successful relationship, if I created financial success, who would get the credit? It would be me. Everyone would be like, oh, wow, he's very dedicated. He's hardworking. But equally, when it goes wrong, you need to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what, especially as a man, and say, it's my fault. It's all my fault. Yes, it rained outside, but you could have brought an umbrella. You could have not gotten wet. How many more videos do you need? How many times do you need to hear things like this for you to say, like, maybe I've been blaming everybody except me? On that list, that tick list, the weather, the government, oh, it's my parents because they never showed me love, so then we should build animosity and hatred towards them. Everybody on that list deserves to be there in your mind, except for one person who's missing off of that list, you. It's you. It's all down to you. And in fact, guess what? It's your fault. The moment you change is the moment everything changes. That's why I wanted to make this video, maybe on the screen I might flash certain evidence here and then in regards to what I'm talking about, just so you guys can see I'm not capping. But essentially, overall, now we've been able to put ourselves in the, in a decent position where we're building back up, building our businesses back up, and by God's grace, God will see us through the end. If you enjoyed this video, share this video, comment in the comment section down below what you want to see from me. Comment your story, because I want to hear from you. Where are you currently? Are you struggling in life? Have you entered your 30s and you're failing and you feel like a failure? Or in your 40s? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, do all that amazing YouTube stuff, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Take care, guys.